Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Open Up show. Today we have an amazing person to share his life journey with us. Before that, I want to share a couple of things with you. My name is Sivam Velautham, and I am the president and founder at Voice 360 here in Canada. Our Voice 360 is a non-profit organization founded in 2020, and it is based in London, Ontario, Canada. Voice 360 was born out of seeing a tremendous need and stepping up to provide services to help support and overcome boys' men's life challenges. We are part of International Men's Day. International Men's Day has been serving for over 25 years, and so far 95 countries around the world join together and doing various activities regularly. IMD follows six pillars, which is the overall the well-being of boys and men. We follow in the same food steps. Why open up? Because men, we do not open our hearts and are not willing to share our matters with anyone. When we keep our emotional challenges within ourselves for a longer time, at some point they will explode and it will affect our health conditions in many ways. That is why we want to create an open space and allow individuals to share their life journey through our platform. Our aim is to create awareness about the life challenges, struggles, overcome ups and downs that our boys and men go through in their lives. There are no limitations with the gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups in sharing your life journey. All walks of life can participate. Our goal is to make a positive impact on someone's life through this program. Open Up is on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We bring an individual to each show and let them share their life experiences with you. Before I introduce our special guest for today, I would like to go through our disclaimer. Boysomen 360, we would like to remind you that Boysomen 360's mission is always delivered with good faith toward peacefully harmony. The views and opinion expressed in today's episode are those of our speakers and do not represent Voiceman 360. Our organization engages in discussion forums to offer inspiration and create awareness of the issues of men who wish to overcome their life challenges. We are not providing medical or therapeutic advice. Should you require that type of assistance, we recommend you contact a medical professional immediately. If you have questions or concerns about today's episodes or any Voiceman 360 content, please email us at info@voiceomen360.org. Like I said, we do have an amazing person to share his life journey. His name is Professor Maurizio Rosini, founder of mymastermind.com, men's mental health coach, mentor. He is joining from Malaysia. Welcome. How are you, friend?
I'm doing very well, Savim. Thank you very much. I'm truly honored, really honored to be part of the show. Thank you for this opportunity. And I would like to give a massive thanks to Brother Salim that make us connect together. Thank you very much to both.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that is one thing we want to thank whoever made this, especially Salim, and whoever is continuously supporting us. So let me take you back sometimes in early life. What were the midlife crises you must encounter, or the breaking point you must face?
Wow, very interesting. Well, I would say that let's call it seasons of life. In each season of life, I've been always encountered a kind of crisis because since young age, I've been extremely curious, asking myself what life is about. Consequently, I did engage myself in many experiences. Some of those were pleasant and took me like embracing heavens. Other ones, they were quite painful because I experienced even the dark side of the life. And in general, I would say that my 30s were especially very turbulent because I was in the position that I was working for a corporate, for a quite popular Italian brands, Prada. And I was exceeding as a salesperson, then become a manager. And I was earning very good money. But the environment was extremely toxic. And I was questioning myself, but is this life? It's all about this, just make money, order money, and then of course getting hyper stressed and then spending money and say there has to be something more. There has to be something more. And that I've been always ask myself, is there something more in life? And I was in that stage, I thought that I had a meaning. Life had, well, the meaning was being successful in your business. But then you understand by the time and going through challenges that there is much more, much more. Life is such a beautiful gift. And once we realize that it's all about serving, and in order to serve, we gotta understand ourselves. We gotta understand which gift we can share with the community. And once we acknowledge the gift we have, then we have to take action and serve. In my case, I chose to serve the men community. I chose to support men to become more connect, as I always say, empowered and free and courageous to live a really fulfilling, loving life.
Say, I heard the word every time I come across this kind of situation, everything happening for a reason, right? So, whatever happened in your life, it is actually teaching you or giving you to become a model or to share your life journey with us, with other people to make them some kind of relationship or connect with them. Okay, you know what, it is not happening one person or only for me or this and that. It's happening for everywhere around the corner too. Okay, you know what, he is going through that kind of life journey, and then I have it too. Or it is not worse than me, or it is not worse than him. So they can take some kind of positive things from that learning though. Anyway, I want to ask you something that from your learning experience too. But what was the influence and inspiration to start your My Master Man, and how are you helping your clients, especially men?
We everything started as you mentioned. I'm Italian, but based in beautiful Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, since years now. Everything started more than 2 years ago when a good friend of mine suggested me, actually, Mauri, why don't you consider to organize a men's circle? So I start to study, and I said, wow, this is one of the ways I can serve the community. I immediately start to deal with my ego, because the ego came into play and says, come on, Maurizio, who's going to come to you? What are you going to tell to the guys with this thick Italian accent? Who's going to pay attention to you? So I had to go through a process of self-love and understand that I'm worthy to do it. And then I had the courage to take action. And so I did. And beautiful enough, from 5 guys become 10 guys, 20 guys. Now I'm running 3 men's circles, 2 in Kuala Lumpur and 1 in Penang, which is up north in the country. And there are about, in the 3 communities, almost 300 men. And I do not take the credit, because I'm just co-creating a safe space. The credit comes and goes to all the men that they have the courage to join, they have the courage to show up, they have the courage to do the work and to bring value to the community. Consequently, when I've been going through with the guys in this beautiful journey of self-awareness, self-love, support, I decided to found last year, at the end of last year, My Masterman, which is an online platform where I do showcase my one-to-one coach, which I do locally and globally online, and the men's circle and the men's retreat. We had an amazing pilot project last year. We were 12 of us, quite international crowd, 12 men. We went into the jungle, an hour drive out of Kuala Lumpur. And from morning until night, we've been going through a beautiful flow of journaling, breath work, body workout, ice bath challenge, cooking together. Then we did some yoga, some journaling again, and then we close up the whole experience with a men's circle. And I'm speechless to see these 12 men come together. No one knew each other, and how they were opening up. The new connection came up. Men open up really very sincerely, and it is so profound to see men. When they have the courage to, as you said before, to open up their hearts and being able to share, hey, brothers, I need to address something that I never had the courage to do. But now that I'm in a group, I feel more safe. So my duty is to create safe space where men, they can feel comfortable to be vulnerable.
Absolutely, and congratulations, and also thank you for doing amazing work, man. It is really important because it is not easy. It is not easy for you, and it is not easy for them. But at the same time, that once we started, you cannot stop. So that's kind of universe works, and then that's the way the universe helps you to achieve something or take to the next level. Though that's the way I understood, and that's the way I am seeing that. A lot of things you don't know, you never know the help coming from nowhere. You don't know the people, right? So it is mean to be, right? I'm very happy to hear that because 300 men, you are not really changing one or two things here and there, but 300 men and their families and their lives, things like that. It's so amazing, man. Thank you. Really appreciate that. What I want to ask you is that, speaking of men's problems or things like that, father figure is very important, right? So let's talk about the father and son relationship that you and your father. What did you learn from him, and what are the the bonding and things like that? What did you have with him? Can you share some of them?
Absolutely. So in younger age, we used to perceive our parents as heroes. And I'm talking once we are 5, 6, 7, because of course, due to them, they feed us, they take care of us. We are small, they are big, so we look upward to them. Then once we start to get into our 16s, 17s, they start to become a bit of enemies because we want to go out, come back late at night, and they put boundaries. And then we start to become adults. So in my case, I had a quite good relationship, I guess, with my father. What I did not acknowledge once I was younger, that probably my father did not receive a lot of love from my grandfather. And I say this honoring my ancestors, though I don't say this as a judgment, just as an adult now, how I see the thing. And I believe that at this stage of my life, at times I struggle. I perceive that I'm not enough and I'm not worth it. And then I've been asking myself why this. Probably due to the fact that my father didn't show up too much love, like in terms of acts, in terms of caring in that way. Surely he had his own journey, probably was stressed at work, whatever, God knows. At times, probably, when I was a kid, I perceived that kind of avoidance, like I'm not enough to get the attention of my father. So that's what I can say. And in my 20s, especially, my father, remember that it's a man that's very grounded, and he never took any kind of risk in life. and with money was coming from, Italy. We had the Second World War, so of course my grandfather went through the war, and once there was a war in Europe, in Italy, nobody was eating, so there was a lot of scarcity mindset. Consequently, this scarcity mindset has been brought to my father as well, and consequently to me. So there was a time that I had to deal some anger, because I was perceiving that I was carrying within me some scarcity mindset and lack of abundance, due to the fact that I was educated that way. And I went through a process that took years to understand that forgiveness is so important, because my father did the very best he could, to educate me under, his knowledge at that time. So uh, I forgive him with love, because he did the very best. So surely, as everyone, I'm carrying some traumas that, let's say, I had to deal with. But overall, great relationship.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Couple of things I actually taken or listening from your story. One is we don't know, or we don't have any kind of ideas that how did they grow up, right? Because we were not there, right? Their environment, the way they, the system, or the society, and even their grandfathers, things like that. We don't have any idea, right? How much struggles or pains or trauma they went through, right? And the other thing is that they don't know, right? Nobody taught us, or nobody talked about, what is it actually, the man, or toxic, or any trauma or anything, how they handle it, even mental health crisis, they don't know. So they don't have any idea. So we don't really, we cannot really blame them. At the same time, that we can try our best to accept, and continue our life. At the same time, it's way of a healing understanding, though. That's what I take it from there. Is that right, Mauricio?
Yes, Savim, and let me tell you something that we preach a lot in the men's circle. Forgiveness is one of the most highest act of love. But first, we do have to learn how to forgive ourselves. There is no way that we can be loving, compassionate, forgiving, understanding with others, if we do not start with ourselves. And what is very tricky in the mind of man. Man, as for generations, we have been the provider. Since our very first ancestors, the women stay in the cave, the man was going out hunting and risk their own life every single day. Now we don't risk our life, thanks God. We go to the supermarket, we just, buy food, and we come back home. But in the mind of a man as a provider, there is a lot of pressure, because the society now is pushing men to be provider, but only financially, not emotionally. So there is a huge gap when it comes to providing. Every man, he feels fulfilled as long as he provides. If he's not able to provide financially, he goes into depression. So that's why we come into place as a men's circle, men's coaching, and so on and so forth. But it's so important for men to understand that there has to be done some, I call it men's work, inner work, in order to start to forgive himself. If we are not perfect, we have to learn as men now how to embrace ourselves fully, with our dark side, our demons, and of course with the light side. We have to be able to accept the fact that at times we are not perfect. We will never be perfect. Only then we can be amazingly loving with others as well. But everything has to start within us. And men are afraid to do the inner work, because they see it as a selfish. I need to provide for others. And so we always give out our power into the external validation. Could be the family, could be the society, the colleagues. It takes courage. It takes a lot of courage, really, for men to face which is really important.
Absolutely. I totally 100% agree with you. The key word is forgiveness. That's a word everybody has to realize it, or accept it, and then they have to give, or they have to understand first, before anything else. They have to understand, um, for me, whenever I come across any situations, I think only the way I take it is that end of the day, what we're going to achieve, fighting or any argument or anything, what you're going to achieve, right? It's basically you're going to hurt each other, right? So rather than that, just be mindful and then pass it on. Like, you don't have to fight with somebody or have a conflict. And even after some times, if you go back and then think about that, it is a waste of time and really hurting somebody's, and then we carry it for a long time though. So that doesn't help at all. Anyhow, I want to ask you a question about because since you are the first one joined on our platform and the show from your community, especially Italian. Do you see any major difference between Italian men and other men around the globe when it comes to pressure, struggles, and challenges?
Dear Savim, look, life has been, it is, and it will always be very generous with me. So since young age, thanks again, yeah, expressing my gratitude to my parents, we did travel quite a lot within Europe. Then after my high school, I went to live in the UK, then I went to Japan, then back to the UK, then I went to the States, Colombia, back to Italy, now Malaysia. What I've been seeing that doesn't matter which God you believe in, doesn't matter your accent, the color of your skin, which diet you are in, and what you do in bed. As a man, there is always one pattern. We are so afraid to share, to truly share what is going on in our heart, and most of the time in our mind, because we are so fearful about the judgments of others. So to reply to your question, I don't see any different here in Malaysia or in Italy or in the States or in Africa. It is a common pattern for men to be very much afraid of the judgment of others. That's why men, they do not share, because they are so afraid to be perceived as weak. Consequently, they keep everything inside. Unfortunately, as you saw from the 1980s, all the audience can easily check on Google from the 1980s, the number of men committing suicide is getting higher and higher and higher. Or what the men are very good at is numb themselves. They go to the pub, drinking beers, they go to the club using drugs, now there's pornography, God knows what is going to come next. We are very good at finding ways to overwork ourselves, overeating, in order to numb ourselves. So there is not any difference, to be honest with you. It's just about the time from east to west, north to south, to implement more and more outlets, men's circles online or physical, coaching, whatever you want to name it, for men to do the work.
I want to add something to that, but at the same time, I want to say this one though. I'm 100% with you, because it doesn't matter where you go. 99.9, or maybe I would say 95 or 98% is the same across the board. Somehow, some part because of the cultural background, or some countries, they may have a different challenges. Not exactly, but different challenges though. But mostly it is very common, or the same kind of like struggles and challenges we go through every day. I completely agree with you. The judgment, people are scared of the judgment, right? We do have a audience that is saying like judgment is I am afraid of judgment, people judgment. So what do you want to say on to that?
Okay, that's a beautiful topic. We can talk about a week, but just I try to be as much short as possible. The fear of judgment comes from a fear of not being enough. So if I give my power outside myself and I deliver the power to others to validate if I'm good enough or not, that one is the worst things that I can do, because I give out all my power to others and waiting for their approval if I'm good enough, or the denial that I'm not good enough. That is why the biggest revolution, the biggest contribution we can give to this amazing life and world, it starts within us. I cannot go in details, but in my younger age, I was heavily involved in politics back to Italy, in a very left party, let's say. And we were physically fighting the fascists, this group of Nazi skin, like proper street fights. And in that age, I thought that that was my way of contributing and fighting whoever is a Nazi, is a racist and fascist. Now that I'm 46 and long ago I started, the most beautiful revolution and contribution that I can give is inner work. Inner work, then once I work within myself, I embrace with self-love myself. There is no more any fear of what other people think about me, because once I perceive, and every man, every woman has so much love within, once I perceive that there is so much love within me, I'm not fearful, because I know that everything I do, everything I say, it comes from a space of love. This judgment of others scares because we think that we are not enough. So to reply to whoever wrote the comment is, give yourself the opportunity. Practice some awareness the way you speak to yourself without judgment. Then try to reframe that the way you speak within yourself. Practice a bit of sit down 5 minutes a day and quiet your mind and try to embrace yourself without judgment. Trust me, you will be not anymore afraid of what other people think, because you will see so much beauty within you, so much love, that when somebody treats you in a bad way, you will look at that person and say, you know what, brother or sister, I forgive you, because as you, I'm not perfect. As you, I can make mistakes. So I forgive you. And that moment of forgiveness gives you so much freedom, so much freedom. And then you realize that you are unstoppable, real. You really can live a loving life. And you don't need special things to do that. You can do it by yourself.
Absolutely. The self love is his most important thing. Is that, of course, when you give forgiveness to yourself, go to your mirror and then talk to yourself and then forgive yourself. Forgiveness is the key word. When you forgive yourself, and then self love automatically come to you. So from that way, you can see who you are. Right? There's a reason you born here. You came to this universe, right? So you are a purpose in this life or in this world. You are here for a reason, though. Well, I want to move a couple of questions. Before that, have a few announcements to give you. Let me come back to you, Maurizio. Um, so we do have open up. That's the one you are actually watching right now. It is on Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and then Willie, it is a Tamil live talk show. It is on Sundays, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, and then monthly men's group meeting, only for men and by men. Second Saturday of every month from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. through Zoom. No recordings. Please join through Zoom. The link is available on Facebook page and group. There are no limitations to gender, age, nationality, or ethnic groups. All walks of life can participate in any of our shows. If you want to be a guest on any of our shows or willing to be part of our organization and help us directly or indirectly, please reach out to us. We would love to work with individuals, professionals, experts, community organizations, associations, corporations, and government officials, and of course, businesses too. Phone number 226 289 8784. 226 289 8784. Email address info@voiceofmen360.org. Website www.voiceofmen360.org. And then social media platforms, Facebook, we do have page and group. Please join our Facebook group, and you can invite your friends too. You can see the daily activities, what's going on over there. Other social media platforms are Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, so we can reach out more people, and then please share this information with other people too. So, Maurizio, I have a couple of more questions, two more questions. We want to finish it early. But before that, you were going to say something. Are you still with that, or you want me to go with the question? Sorry, you are muted. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Just to reply, there are several ways. Once we start to feel the fear of the judgment of others, we start to question ourselves. What I always suggest is get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen and ask yourself, why am I afraid of the judgment of others? And having the courage to unplug the mind and really connect with the heart. And most likely, once we do reverse engineering and we start to question ourselves, most of the time, it is because of a trauma. It comes from the youth when we were young. Most of the time comes from a traumatic experience that really shocked us and says, wow, okay, now I'm not good enough. One of the ways that I suggest the audience, take a piece of paper, be in a quiet environment by yourself and write a letter to yourself. This is the prompt. Hi, whatever name is, let's say I write a letter to myself. Hi, Maurizio, it's me, your best friend. And you write a letter with open heart to yourself without thinking, but connecting with your heart. Nobody's going to read that letter, just yourself. But be so you, for you, and to you, and with you. And you write a letter. You will experience so much love at times pain, but it's worth it. Write a letter to yourself, open heart, and see what happens. It's so liberating. That one will help you in the process of getting in touch with yourself and really do not care what other people think about you.
Exactly. So that's one way to heal, even when you write it down. So much pain leave, and then you can feel the heaviness is gone or leaving, and also it's a way of healing too. So you can write the letter, and then after reading a couple of times, or how many times you want to read it, but you can throw it away. You can tear it up, and then you can throw it away, so nobody else is going to see that. Last question is what does open mean to you, and one message for those who are going through some life challenges?
What open means for me?
Open up mean to you, especially when you think about men.
Wow, it means okay, as I said before, it means having the courage of overcoming the fear of being judged. And I suggest each man to join at least once this group of men's support. Again, we call them men's circle. There are so many now in the world, physically or not physically, because when you give yourself the opportunity to be with other brothers, and I say brothers with the capital B, to see and experience a safe space where there is no judgment, where we become good listener, you will see a piece of your story or in another man that you might thought, oh my gosh, this guy is financially successful, is plenty of success, money, girls, whatever. And I had no clue that as me is going through certain challenges. So what we do, creating these beautiful spaces of connection between men, we break the feeling, the illusion of separation between men, and you won't feel lonely, because the point is each man feels and experience loneliness in the journey because they do not share. But once you start to share, you reckon that your neighbor is going through the same things. The openness helps you to say, okay, that's interesting, I'm not lonely anymore. Then consequently, you start to feel the trigger of, okay, so I feel more empowered now. How can I go through? So you start to ask questions. And as Sivam at the beginning of the interview says, then the universe, God, whatever you name it, life, starts to work in an amazing way. And it delivers you the right people at the right time. You're going to be facing situation, not feeling lonely anymore. Just give yourself the opportunity. trust on the process, and then you will see how beautiful it is to open up.
Exactly, exactly. I love the closing though. I really appreciate your inputs though. I also want to recognize somebody said another solution. Realize that the horrible things that happens or happening in the world is totally out of your control, and you can only influence what is in your direct control. It is very well said. So, and also there's a person encouragement. You can do it. I really appreciate that. And of course, you have other things. And then the contact information to reach out to Mauricio is I'm going to put it on the chart so people can see it. So please reach out to him and then see if you have any questions or any kind of like a concern or anything, especially for men. Please reach out to him so he can help you out. All right, thank you, Maurizio, so for joining and helping us even and also sharing your life journey with us. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, and all the best of luck to Men's Voice 360, really, Men of Voice, because it's beautiful what you're doing, and I'm absolutely grateful to be connected now with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, friends, whoever is watching on the other end, please, I encourage everyone to follow up these comments and then see how you can actually reach out to him and then get the benefit from him. And also, please share this information with others and help us to reach out more people so we can serve more people. All right. Thank you for joining today. Thank you.